Evening, everyone. How you doing? Happy Corgi Catalogue Day or unhappy Corgi Catalogue Day, depending on which way you want to look at it. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, me and Dan will be hosting, as per usual, and it's going to be a rolling pair of slots where we're going to have different collectors coming on, adding their thoughts, almost like a talk sport style show, where we're literally going to get your viewpoints across. Good evening, everyone who's joining. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Good to see everybody who's joining. At the moment, the lineup consists of Dwayne, who's going to go first, Mitch, then Jamie, Matt, Sam, and potentially Andy Curtis if he's on. If not, there's plenty of room for you to come on, James, and have a bit of a rant. I think will probably be the best way of putting it. So you're more than welcome to come on, mate. So the guys who are coming on, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little camera with a plus. So could I ask Dwayne and Mitch if you want to just press that so I can let you in? And then when each of you have done your thing, if you could then drop off and we're letting the next person in. So Dwayne is just requested. Waiting on Dan. Nicely, Chris has joined from Heavy Metal Diecast Collector as well. I know he's bottled it. Chris, disappointed in you, mate. I know it's like about 5 in the morning over in Australia, but I thought maybe you'd fancy that. Right, let's have a look. So Dan is just request. Oh. Okay, yeah.
Evening, boys.
Asked we can go a little bit later because he's picking up a Chinese, ladies and gentlemen. A succulent Chinese meal, man. Democracy manifest. Sorry, I won't do the don't get your hands off of my penis one. Oh, I just have. Never mind. Anyhow, good evening, lads.
Wow. Evening.
How you doing? Right, so the format is really, really simple. You've got 5 minutes to make your statement, your opinion. And then after that, if you could then drop off and we can let the rest of the guys on so we can do it in sort of like I said, it's a bit of a round robin format. And like I said, if anybody wants to jump on after the list is completed, which I'll go through one more time for anybody who's just joined. Dwayne, Mitch, Jamie, who's going to move further down the list, Matt Allen if he's on, Sam Maroncelli if he's on, and Andy Curtis if he's on. If not, we'll keep going. We just keep talking about it. So, first of all, evening, lads. So,
good evening, Squire.
Dwayne, I know it's like 12:30 in the middle of the night in India.
No, it's 1:30.
It's 1:30. So, mate, I want you to make a start because it's only you're going to get up in about 4 hours' time. You want to get your bit across. But good evening, mate. Good to speak to you. The floor is yours.
So, first reactions of the new catalog. I'm really digging the mosquito. And as I have an Ace of Aces theme, I'll definitely be getting the mosquito. I wish they did the Percy Picard mosquito, in my opinion. Also, I mean that would have been but I'm okay with the release. Then of course I would like to get the swordfish also, the swordfish from the raid. Yeah, because I already have the Sink the Bismarck one, so another one wouldn't hurt. And from a notable raid. And what else? The rest I'm not too. I'm not really too concerned with the rest. I already have an ME410, and the cannon on the first release really makes it stand out.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to interrupt your little section, but somebody brought up that the Mosquito's got a Bombay, and it's a night fighter. And I know it was his first Mosquito that he got a kill in, but is that accurate?
So I was doing a bit of research online.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the photos now. I've not seen, and I'm not overly clued up on mosquitoes. But
James just said no, it's not. The cannons are a massive improvement. Really good. Lots more detail in there. I don't like matchsticks coming out of a nose. But I'm not entirely sure it's going to be carrying a Bombay. So it's almost like they've retooled it and put the wrong type of aircraft. But I don't know. I've done a little bit of research on him. And I'm sure you see it on the video as well. When he got 19 of his 30 aerial victories during the night. So I don't know for a fact if he was flying a bomber at first and then switched to a night fighter. I haven't done that much detail on him, but look, I mean, you might know.
So he's the highest scoring ace in a twin engine fighter.
Yeah.
For the Brits, obviously, and there was another night fighter ace, of course, who
Cat's-eye
also
Cannon.
I'm
yeah, yeah.
researching. I'm researching while we're
Go on,
going.
Dan.
So
Good boy.
yeah, so there was another night fighter race who has a higher kill ratio than him, and of course the other person who was there are three aces basically. Cat Eyes Cunningham, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah,
Yeah, so the only reason I'm getting it is because he's also the top scoring ace in a Mosquito.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also, do you know what he is the top scoring ace for? For the number of names: John, Randall, Daniel, Bob, Graham. I mean, I
yeah,
don't. It's like an encyclopedia of names in itself. I mean, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Just imagine being his teacher, calling him out every morning.
yeah. No, so I'm as far as the even the ME 410, like whoever got the Lou Loma Mosquito, I think they should go for the new ME 410 because it's a night fighter variant, and that's how low Luma. I mean, it was featured on an episode of Dogfights.
Yeah,
So
and of course, like it's like obviously a night intruder in terms of the ones that used to stalk the bomb fleet back to the UK until the sort of Mosquito become a really proficient night fighter and started taking them down and hunting them down. So, I mean, look, it's a lovely scheme. I hope they fixed or done something with the undercarriage because the undercarriage is complete cock, for want of a
yeah,
better
no,
word.
I completely agree. Like I actually have mine right now. It's on the stand.
Yeah, I think it's the safest place for it, mate. To be honest with you. And
So
Chris
is
from
it
Heavy Metal
is the
Diecast
undercarriage
will.
similar to the Marauder, where it's like a thin?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
accurate, but it's also really, really flimsy.
right.
And I think Chris, if like I said, I'm very much an advocate of sharing other people's pages. Chris from Heavy Metal Diecast, I think he absolutely mullered his one when he was putting it together live on camera. And he's just put the ME PTSD 410, and he did. It made me feel better because I think when I did my review, I spoke about that. I really didn't like it, and I didn't like the undercarriage doors either because the front doors aspect of it was really, really poor. But the actual model itself is glorious, fantastic. They done a great job of it. But
No, and also this what they said they were doing a Mark 5. I hope it's a notable ace uh, with regard to the Spitfire or Ski-Fire, whatever they're releasing. And I really didn't have the Lockheed Hudson in mind. Like I never believed that they'd.
no, it's
I
a
mean,
bit of a curveball. And I
it's
think they've given a hint as to what scheme it's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be the first aerial kill by an allied fighter, I believe, wasn't it? They mentioned it briefly on the video, if anybody's seen the video. So I don't know what that scheme looks like. I've not looked at it. I did the RAF Museum one because that's got amazing kangaroo artwork on the front part of it, and it's a really cool scheme. The Aussies will be over the moon with the Hudson being
okay.
done because there's a myriad of schemes that can be done for the Royal Australian Air Force. Like you, Chris, of course. Yeah, I think you just said in there, it'd be good if they made the gear from metal rather than flimsy plastic, at least. I like the old, what I call Forces of Valor style one. And I guess even the Caliber one now, which locks in with the magnets, really, really sturdy as well. But
Yeah, so I would like to know how that model looks like before I give my money to Corgi. And
yeah,
also the pricing has gone up a
yes,
lot. I
we'll
mean,
get
it's
to
like
that at some point.
a bit wild over there. So I'll be getting my model from Richard, like
I'll be
Richard Darling.
remortgaging.
Yeah, and we've got a new C word we can actually share on the live tonight, and that's Canberra, which is. I mean, I don't quite know how they've doubled it in price. That's some
Honking.
move.
Mm.
85 to 170 quid is, you know,
Okay. It's double.
yeah, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. Look, mate,
Yeah,
go on. You get yourself to bed then, yeah, because like I said, I didn't want to keep you on here long. That's why I wanted to get you out first.
no problem.
Out the
I'm
blocks.
looking forward to the Cabo release.
Absolutely, mate. Well done
That
for getting
happens.
that done. See,
Yeah,
people do listen, and it's nice.
yeah.
It's nice to know that they do. So, look, mate. Look, good talking to you. We'll catch up soon, mate. But all the best, yeah. And he's off. He's off. He didn't muck around there. He's like, I'm getting
Yeah,
straight to bed.
gone.
I mean, look, I see Sam has joined. I mean, Sam, I don't know if you want to add yourself onto the call now because I know you're on the list of people to potentially come on as long as you're decent. I'm not really too worried if you ain't decent. In all honesty, we're going to have a bit of entertainment on there like
It's
that.
preferred family.
But no, you're more than welcome to come on, Sam, if you fancy it. Mitch,
Yeah,
over to you, mate. The floor is yours.
yeah. To me, it's a bit of a catalogue, to be honest. Yeah, I suppose the criticism of it really is it's quite heavily night fighter dominated, really, isn't it? And night ops dominated. So I suppose it depends on sort of your flavour and your theme, really, doesn't it? Or whether that's models to add into your collection, really. I'll give it about a 6 out of 10 catalogue, really. I suppose a lot was promised, and I suppose there's a lot to come still as well in terms of the new tooling. Spitfire, they hinted at something else from the Confederate Air Force to come.
And People's Mosquito as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and what's your thoughts on that? Because I read that as
Um,
potentially like a 1/32
yeah, I
Mosquito.
think that's how I sort of read between the lines there. They said they got something special and big coming.
Yeah,
Because People Mosquito, I don't think they've decided what Marcus Mosquito they're going for,
yeah,
and also I don't think they've gone for a particular scheme as yet. The issue I see with People Mosquito, sorry to jump on here, is the People Mosquito are still a million miles away from getting a Mosquito.
yeah,
I hope they still get the funding after Biggin Hill get theirs this year, because obviously with the Mosquito back on the UK scene, there's going to be a load of interest in it. But will there be enough interest to make a second one? I hope the finances are there, because it's a brilliant idea. But it's a bit like, I don't want to compare them to Vulcan to the Sky, and I apologise for the People Mosquito.
I do agree. I agree. I know where you're going with that, Matt. Because once you've got a Vulcan on the ground, 558, once it landed, it's just a Vulcan. It sounds bad. It's still a Vulcan, but it's a Vulcan on the ground.
yeah,
When it was in the air, it was always going to get the funding. Whereas now it's no different to 655. It's no different to 426. And them two other guys will then
They're all in the same territory, aren't they? They're all strapped
yeah,
to the same cap.
yeah. I
100%.
agree. Yeah,
Whereas, like you said, Biggin Hill getting their Mosquito, without sounding awful, people have got what they want then.
Yeah, of course.
Air
It's
show
going to be
goers
amazing.
have got a Mosquito in the air. Now, we know Biggin aren't massively big air show goers. They don't normally go to a great deal. I'd imagine they will take that Mosquito to quite a few, to be honest with you, or they'll at least
yeah.
be invited. But yeah, I know. Hey, here he is.
Hello, mate.
How we
Hello.
doing?
I know what you mean in regards to that. It would be a massive shame to see all of a sudden the People's Mosquito funding drop. I'd like to think it wouldn't. Maybe that's potentially why Corgi have jumped on board.
Yeah. So just to add to what Mitch said, I think the Confederate Air Force one is a really, really interesting link.
Yeah.
Because if they want to get back on to American soil, and with the tariffs right now, it's really difficult. It's a great way of, I don't know, then maybe they'd do something a bit different with it. I don't know whether the Confederate Air Force would be almost a distributor for almost, their shows will have the Corgi brand there. It's a good way of getting it out to America as well. And everyone loves an aircraft they can see, like Ready for Duty must be a prime candidate. Is Placid Lassie Confederate Air Force?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I know. I think I forgot now. That's All Brother wasn't it? But I'm not quite. I don't think Placid Lassie is, but they would do. I know Corgi were talking to the Placid Lassie guys, because I sort of made the connection between Michael and them.
But that would call for that be discussing what we were on about the other night in regards to the DAC. That would be another one for a new mould.
Yeah, yeah, because it needs the wings as flat as a pancake, isn't it? Sorry, Mitch, but we jumped on. Carry on, mate. Sorry.
We'll pop down.
Yeah, so say it's probably about a 6-7 out of 10 catalogue for me. If you go through what they've announced, the Mosquito is a welcome change, isn't it? Adding the opening Bombay doors underneath. I think I'd be more keen to see what the Bomber variant looks like with the glass nose, and then the properly cast, clear windows at the front, as opposed to the previous version. So we'll see what that comes of that further down the line. Mark 5 Spitfire, I mentioned it the other night, so that's a welcome addition to the retooled lineup at last. Yeah,
that's the collection complete, isn't it? I mean, look, I say the collection complete. I mean, we haven't got a 16, an 11, a short nose Griffin, but you're talking about your major players. No, the Mark 1's glorious. The Mark 9's magnificent. The 14 and 19 is lovely. The 5 was the ugly duckling of the group, wasn't it? And hopefully they've now put that to bed. And hopefully we'll see some details of that on Friday and Diecast Diaries, a CAD or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's so many. I mean, like that James has just said, the Seafire, like a Seafire and a temperate sea scheme, Pacific markings, PP972, I think it is, isn't it? The one that you worked on, Dan, didn't you? Did you work on that for a bit when you was at Simon?
No, it went off.
Gone by then, yeah.
It had gone just before I started there, and it's.
But that scheme is stunning. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But like I said, to add Seafire options to it, amazing. I'm over the moon with that. And there's there's some glorious bits of kit to be done, and hopefully they do a selection of wings. So you can have the double cannon like the desert one at Duxford. You can have the clip wing like EP120.
I would love them to redo the Polish one, RFD, that had the Donald Duck on the side.
Yeah,
because the old model they did, the nose art was great, but it's just the model was terrible, wasn't it? So it'd be great if they could redo that at some point.
James has just had a good point in regards to the Seafire, and it would be quite nice to see if and how they can implement maybe having the folding wing. The Swordfish, they can do it. Swordfish 172, I've never had one, but that's got the folded. That's got folded.
It's one of, I think it's one of those ones that it's probably one of their better molds, and we don't really get the glory. But if you think, I think that's the 10th release on Swordfish. It might even be more. But I'm sure. Hold on, let me have a quick look at my notes about to tell you, because it would tell me what number it is. Oh, it's 12th. So it's AA 36312. So it'd be the 12th release. But it's taken 12 release to do, with the exception of the Bismarck, its finest hour was Taranto. And with the early roundels, the red, white and blue roundels under the wing, it just looks sensational. It looks absolutely sensational.
Now, I'm surprised they've done another one though, when they've still got one in current inventory. The one with
the American one. Yeah.
Right. What's the? Oh my God!
Torch.
Sorry.
Operation Torch.
That's it. Operation Torch. That's it.
Yeah.
The Allied invasion of North Africa. Nice, really nice one as well. I think they ballsed up the camo in one of the bits, didn't they? But it was pretty stunning with the bombs underneath it as well. Sorry again, Mitch. We've jumped on. So
that's right.
Carry on, mate.
Yeah. So if you go through the others, it's I suppose it's a welcome change to see some 1/72 jets back in the lineup as well. It's not my scale, but for the collectors out there, that's a welcome change, isn't it? Seeing the Meteor again, and I think the Jag looks great in terms of the paint scheme, etc.
But somebody's brought up it should be a full wrap camo version.
Really?
The picture I shared on the video I did was a full wrap camo, but I'm not entirely sure in 76 whether it had that. I think that was an early 80s picture that I shared. But look, I mean, that's for the research team to do their bit. I'm sure they'll justify it even if it is wrong. But But I mean, look, it's not a deal breaker for me. It's do you know? I was thinking about it as well. It's probably the last Allied aircraft to be shot down over Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's friendly fire, wasn't it? So,
Phantom. God, just imagine trying to talk that one around. So what happened? Yeah, I pressed the missile. What, twice?
Yeah, the wrong button.
I really pissed me out. Yeah, he pissed me off last night. He beat me at pool or something. I don't know, but it's but that must have been a very, very difficult conversation for that Phantom pilot if he did survive it, which I probably doubt he did. Somebody can confirm. Be interesting to see whether they do the Phantom now as well, or somebody does the Phantom. But it's a shame that Hobby Master don't do the Spey engine Phantom. Easy money for us Brits, isn't it? 500.
Yeah, and then sort of moving on, the Canberra. There's a lot of positive reaction out there about it's the Suez Crisis Canberra, but for the money that's absolutely ridiculous. That's 1/48 money, isn't it? With a lot more detail thrown in.
It must be a typo, and I generally thought it must be a typo, and I think it was it Jamie from Jumblies? Was it Jamie?
Yeah, he said that Hornby has actually confirmed that's the price, because I know when they said
because the Dornier is 84.99.
Yeah,
89.99. Sorry, which is equally the same size. It's not a bit more intricate and detailed.
I think what's happened is potentially they might have had, when they did the RAAF, I can't even speak, RAAF one, that's the one. They might have had some issues at the factory with it. And whatever's happened in the Far East, they've said, we'll make it for you, but this is the price. So hence that is then the price. But it's really, and it's a hard sell really at that price.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is when you
Really,
ballsed up the previous release,
yeah.
even at half the price,
Yeah.
that's the bit that I'm struggling to get my head round. I mean, go carry on, Mitch, because you haven't talked about the
Tonka.
Talk about the elephant
yeah,
in the room.
Yeah. So yeah, I've obviously got mine. It's to me it looks like a tornado. I'm not an expert on a tornado. It's a well made model. Like there's no seam gaps in it. The usual criticism that we have of Corgi with seam gaps, etc. It's well put together. Scheme is good. However, there's clearly issues with the mold with people that know more about the aircraft than I do. So for this one, I suppose the pluses are it's an attractive scheme, isn't it? So it's going to stand out on the
is
shelf.
that not a negative that they've wasted a brilliant scheme?
It is, yeah.
On an aircraft that when the new mould comes out, because I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen on the page that Phil Austin has said he spoke to him at RIAT, and Corgi were not happy about it, but they've been forced to make another model of it. And I guess the logic behind it is to recoup some money to reinvest back into the tooling. But for me, looking at that scheme, it's one
I'd
of
have
the
gone for a plain grey Marum. Yeah, plain grey Marum jet. That's what I'd have gone for.
Yeah, but then on the flip side, if you'd done a plain grey Marum jet, would it have sold? It's one of them ones where
it ain't going
you've
to sell
whacked a
anyway.
great scheme on it to try and help it sell. Yeah, you're now going to leave yourself. Obviously, a Granby one is the most obvious one, isn't it?
You got this where there's so many. You got Dumbuster scheme. You got everything.
It's just it just feels like. I mean, for me, it just feels like a bit of a. Actually, I'd rather see that on the finished article thing. But look, we say that I still think it's going to sell. That's the one thing I didn't say in the video. I still think it will sell because, like I said, we want to call this rivet counters. We're not quite that far, and I'm sure you've seen the forum feedback.
Yeah.
They know their stuff. They know their onions. Is the old retail term.
Yeah. I suppose to a certain degree, I fall into that category really. So I don't know enough about.
But you're not taking yourself too seriously either.
To know, yeah.
But,
so, and to be honest, I thought the same about the bloody 100th B17 as well. There's a lot of errors of that, and that's now sold out on the website.
Yeah, I bought it like a muppet.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. So go back to the tornado. I personally won't be buying it. However, if it goes down in price and like a Black Friday sale and I've got a load of hobby points to add on top of it and it brings it down to something stupid like 50 quid, then I might consider it. But clearly there's issues with the mold that I need to fix. So it's a bit disappointing that they've sort of released it knowing that there's issues with it.
Right,
but further down the line, and also sort of going back to the catalogue as well, it'd be interesting to see what the last new mould is going to be, because obviously they haven't announced that yet.
Yeah, I'm edging towards F-35 now.
Yeah,
because the theme's fighter meet, isn't it, at RIAT?
Yeah, it's going to be RIAT, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be RIAT. I mean, it makes sense because actually splitting the announcements halfway through the year as well. It always gets a bit of interest.
I think Hunter.
Yeah.
Is it Hunter?
I just think the F-35.
It completes the modern Air Force from though, doesn't it, in 148? If they do
It does.
If they do the F-35, and then they can start working their way backwards to Jag, to Buck.
My God, if they get it wrong, which is possible, there's no way they can scan an F-35. There aren't any to scan. There's no way any Air Force would let them near an F-35 to scan it.
Yeah. Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, look,
Buccaneer. I'm going Buccaneer. Come on, it's going to happen at some point.
Opening nose, air brakes for me.
Yeah.
Through ladder, that would be the absolute business. That would be a stunning.
Do Airfix have it in 148?
Yeah.
What's that? The Buck.
Yeah.
I know the Buck and the Jag, don't they?
Yeah, the Buck was last year, wasn't it? And really well received as well.
But not the F-35.
No. Well, it's a piece of shit, isn't it? No, it's just not. I don't know about you. It's not a piece of shit.
Here we go. This brace yourself, everybody.
No. But it's just it don't like. I mean, obviously, I'm a child of the '80s, and it don't get the juices flowing. You see one, you're like, oh, nice, but it's not one of them aircraft that for me
No.
is yet iconic. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. It might well cover itself in glory in God knows whatever theatre. But for me, I see it and I just sort of go, it looks like any other modern jet for me.
Yeah, grey jet. Yeah.
And that's the bit, and I think also the grey bit is really, really key. I mean, what different? Well, we're going to do it in different shades of grey, are we? In 148, and
Yeah, 'cause it's
it's
slightly
good.
different with Typhoon, isn't it? Because they did Blackjack, they did Moggy, they've got a grey operational one as well, haven't they? But there's no sort of real display F-35 that you can choose from, really, is there?
Bloody hell, Dwayne's still awake. Go to bed, Dwayne.
Mhm.
Right, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be rude to get you off, Mitch. I just want to
Yeah,
see if anybody else wants to come on. So if you want to put it in the comments, then we'll keep just rotating the strike and so forth. Because also I want to get Sam to get his moment. Because I don't want this to go on all night because it could well do the way I end up talking.
Yeah.
So for now, hold
Yeah.
on, Mitch. When Jamie's ready,
yeah,
I can drop off and just keep the rotation going if that's all right. So Sam,
Jamie's just messaged me saying either you guys have gone off live or his Instagram shit the bed. So I don't know whether Jamie will be on.
okay,
Oh,
brilliant. But we'll hand over to you, Sam. Well, first of all, mate, how you doing? It feels like ages since I spoke to you.
yeah.
You're good.
Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year, mate.
You too, bud.
Feel like, I mean, how we're already like halfway through January. I'm not entirely sure, but no, hope you're all well. I mean, I work from home and I was sort of sat. I had obviously because I have several monitors. I've got the Corgi YouTube video up on one like while I'm typing emails away. So that was fun. But I think I think I would probably agree with what Mitch has said. It's 6 out of 10 for me. I
Do you
think
know
all day
what? I just want to say that this is all my notes from this morning. I don't know if you can see. It's probably
yeah.
going to be back to front for you. 6 out of 10. And I think if you took the tornado away, maybe a little bit better. But I don't think it really. I was really excited for it. Maybe I've overexcited myself before it because the 3 new releases, 2 adjustment.
Yeah.
And I look
yeah.
at it and I was like, yeah, it's all right. But there's probably less in this catalogue of 8 that I want than there was in like the 4 when they released them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, all day long. So I think the Mark V Spitfire is a fantastic move. It's a license to print money really with your Berlings and your Sailor Milans and all everyone associated. And I think you could do that. You could do that all day long. Put an Ace's name on it. That's the next one. That's the next one. And maybe they might do some more sort of esoteric pilots that people perhaps might not have heard of. But I think they'll start how they did with the Mark 9. They'll start strong. And more like recognizable names for that. So yeah, brilliant. Predict like everyone saw it coming a mile off. I think what people didn't see coming was the fact that it was going to be modified for the Seafire. I think
That's clever.
that,
And I think we pushed for that for the Mark 9, didn't we?
yeah,
And they went with the one style rudder, which feels like the only way they can now undo that is to do a separate fuselage with the pointier style rudder,
yeah,
Yeah.
which could then, but an adaptable second fuselage that can then add the chin cowl for the 11 and stuff like that, because they've got the wings, so there is the potential.
yeah. So yeah, that's all good. Obviously, nothing in terms of World War One. We've just had the brisket and the camel. The camel's getting quite long in the tooth now, really, but it's got that. I think we've discussed it on here before. It's got that sort of novelty kind of factor that makes people want to buy it. Yes, it's not 100% accurate to what a camel would be, but it looks great on the shelf, especially with the scheme they've done it in recently. It does really pop. I don't have it. I don't have it, but yeah, it's on like it's one that's on the list. But yeah, overall not amazing. And I mean, we've spoken about the tornado at length. I don't think they'll do it. I think particularly if this one sells really well, where's the incentive? Because it's not just Corgi bosses have to get around. They have to get around Hornby, and if it sells really well, and they go to Hornby and they go, well, can we change it? Can we have this money to change it? Well, no, because it's selling. Like, just do another one. So I can see it. I can see it not because outside of the the sort of collectors like you or I, or even like going a bit further out on the forums, people see it on the shelf. Wow, it's a big tornado. I'll have that.
Yeah.
So the average Joe might not know that there's anything wrong with it at all. And like you say, it looks good. It looks good. It's not correct, but it is a looker.
Yeah.
It was nice to see the Luftwaffe stuff as well, especially because I think the two that they've done, the second 410 and the Dornier, which we haven't seen for ages, they go really well together. They would also pair brilliantly with the Blitz Ju-88, which they did a few years back.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, well, that's a really similar scheme, and it's nice. I mean, the only Dornier I have is the Russian front one, and that's fantastic. That's a really nice model.
That's the one I need. That's the only one I need from that Sanderson collection. It's a hard one to find that.
Yeah. I bought it on sale from Model Zone in Cambridge just before they went bust. Years
ago. Fun in that. So I don't know if I ever told you, but I worked in Islington, which was literally up the road from Holborn, where the main base was. So when they shut the big one at Holborn to move up to New Oxford Street, I went in there and I spent about 300 quid on the credit card, and I kid you not, I came with 6 bags on the bus. And what in them days I did with my ex-wife, we had an alley down the back, so I had to run round the alley, chuck the bags over the top of the alley, so the garage blocked them, and then just go out bit by bit and fish them in for the night. And then when she read the credit card bill, she's like, "Why have you spent 300 quid in Model Zone?" I was like, I wasn't hoping you would find that. So you can imagine the conversation that was. I mean, I spent loads of stuff that day. It was mental, absolutely mental. But yeah, I missed. My God, I missed that shop.
No, but long rest its soul. I mean, it was nice. It was nice to actually see some 172 jet releases back, even though the prices have just gone a bit ridiculous. And I think even obviously the headline is the 170 odd for a Canberra, but 94 pounds for a Jaguar seems like a little bit too much. When you think about the size of it, if you think about the fact that tooling's been around forever, to me that's a £70 model. Like,
well, the standard price for a fighter now is going to be 70 or 75 quid. So Meteor 74.99.
Yeah, I think the Meteor is a lot more at 74.99. I get that, and I think that's a bit more reasonable.
But is that not the same price as the Canberra was last year?
Yeah, Canberra was 85.
It was 79.99. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
What's that?
Swordfish was 79.99.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot.
95 quid for a 410.
Yeah, which seems like a good deal now.
Does it?
Yeah. By the way, Arsenal are winning. Just flash on the screen.
No, I've got. My other half held the phone up in the corner, said it was 1-0. So I've got score updates coming in. Don't worry. I don't know. It is what it is. Really, I think when the Diecast diaries come out, I think people were probably expecting a lot more than what was actually delivered. And I mean, I don't like coming on here and trashing Corgi, because without Corgi there wouldn't be a hobby, and we wouldn't actually be sat here on this on this Wednesday evening talking about it.
Tiger Hobbies said something about it. I know you guys are following the forum on MH3. On the general discussion bit, they were talking about Hornby's struggles, and Gary said why he thought Hornby were struggling, and he said that without Hornby, this whole collecting world is, I wouldn't say doomed, but it's pretty shit. And he's absolutely right. And thankfully, Corgi are doing really well. So there's two ways I think Hornby can look at this. They sell off the golden brand, which it is now. So Hornby is the one that's dragging it under. Do they hold on to Corgi, or do they sell it, or do they sell Scale Electrics? Do they sell the Humbro? I think that's what they have to do now. I think they're going to have to break up bits of the company to try and it's all about their debt. So again, really interesting topic. If they can service their debt, then suddenly their performance, because they are making profit, their revenues going up and up and up, but they're paying 15% off on their debt each time. So it's just almost like it's like getting back to the top of the water and someone chucking a bit more cement on you to push you back down again. And I think it's dangerous times, but there's lots of positivity as well. It's a weird one, really. I mean, even post-COVID, although their retail, their revenue went up, they still weren't performing massively well. So I don't know. It's not a great situation to be in. It's a long way they continue to prosper. Hopefully,
I will say
I
with
agree.
Corgi, and sorry to jump in, and I read it on the MH3 forum over Christmas, and it's I agree with the statement really. So someone wrote that Corgi's the only make really where you open a box and it's got that real wow moment. So when they do well and they smash it out of the park, it's a moment where you lift out the box and it's a proper sort of wow moment and almost sort of bringing back to you being a young kid again. And I do agree with that. So when they do well, they are really good. It's however it's hit and miss with Corgi at times, isn't it? And that's the frustrating part.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's the thing. I think they've got to eradicate those really shit decisions, because let's call it out. There's some really, really shit decisions, but there's some amazing research and amazing potential, and then suddenly the factory, the other side of the world, go and do whatever they want to do, pump out and go, oh shit, sorry, we just sent you 1,000 units, you're going to have to deal with it now. And I think that's where the problem's always going to be, unless, I called this out years ago, there's got to be a middle person. Look, I'm obviously so 2026, I refer to him as person and not man. A middle person who's going to be driving that quality control, the authenticity, the accuracy. Because when you're paying £80 now for a swordfish, I don't want the camo to stop slightly below the cockpit because we missed it. I want it fucking perfect, and I don't want it damaged in the box. I don't want it smashed to bits when it gets to me. And I think poor Chris, Heavy Metal Diecast Reviews, had a few like that over the last few weeks. So it's no, I'm not hiding in the back of a church. It's more like Hitler's bunker, to be honest with you, Carl. Look, they've got to get it right now, and I think they've proved, when you, like you said, Mitch, when they get it right, absolutely mind blowing. You put that model on your shelf and you go, that's quality, and your eye, it catches your eye when you come back in again, doesn't it? Till you get that next one. But they've got to get it right. They've got to get it right. But also, I also think that they need to get Hornby right as well, because they all need to prosper together. I think they've put also so much focus into Hornby the last 3, 4, 5 years. Corgi's actually then suffered with the lack of new toolings, and then suddenly they've realised, oh shit, bloody hell, your aviation archive is selling really well. Why don't we actually pump some more money into it? Geniuses, well done. We've been telling you that for years. Do you know what I mean? But it's look, the whole world is completely screwed up at the moment, though, isn't it? So
those are my thoughts on it anyway. Like, could a lot of potential, and could really be a bit better. But again, the proof is in the pudding, and how these ones sort of turn out. I haven't seen too much on MH3 about things like pre-pro images that people have called them out and gone, no, that's horribly wrong. So I think they are starting to listen a bit more.
Let's hope
there.
so.
Let's hope so. But I'm going to have to shoot off, gentlemen.
Yeah, of course,
I don't know if you want to get some
before
other.
Before you go, what's your standout one of the 8? What's the one that makes you go, I wouldn't mind that?
Oh, that would easily the Mozzie all day long. Easily the Mozzie, and that for me that's a day one. That one. I mean, to even, because we're not likely to get a new 172 tooling. That modification will be then it going forward. But it looks when they sort of held when he held it up on the video, David it looked fantastic, and I thought, yeah, that's brilliant. And it'll probably be replacing, where as time goes on, some of the older 172 ones in my collection, because to have a Bombay on one of those, and to get the guns right, because people have been moaning about the guns for donkey's years.
Yeah.
And the price as well. I have to say, when that one 75 quid for a not a brand new tooling, but
It's a
one
great
with
price
some
on that,
extra.
isn't it? How can that be cheaper than a swordfish?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And then when you think about it, and that's obviously buying at retail from Corgi, you might find it for sort of 65, 70 odd in other places, as tradition would have you. But that's my number one. But anyway, yeah, I'll let you.
Good to have you on, buddy. Look, lovely
I'll
to
let you
talk to you,
get
mate.
to it. All right. Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
Take
Have a
care.
good
see you
night.
soon.
So
Bye-bye.
before we go to Dan, because obviously we haven't actually asked Dan yet, who's sitting there patiently
It's
in the
a
corner.
brave. Yeah, you know what? I don't do Luftwaffe. I I don't mind the Jag. I do like the Mozzie. I don't really care for a lot of it, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just your new collecting habit, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just more blown away by the prices. I know we could keep on going on about that all night. 170 quid for a Canberra, I think, is
Yeah.
outrageous.
Mm.
I think the Tornado is an absolutely shockingly shite decision. I'd much rather they didn't even use it, and just. Oh, have you just commented? That confused the shit out of me. Then, I'd rather they didn't use the mold. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't get the first one. I'm glad I didn't get the first. No offense, Mitch.
It's all right.
I'm glad I didn't get the first one. But I am glad that they have noticed that it's wrong. And I am correct in saying that they are going to be fixing it. Am I right in saying that?
They are. So I think
Yeah.
Phil Austin brought that up on the page.
Yeah.
He spoke to him at
So-
Rio last year. I'm assuming the two he spoke to were David and Michael. I'm assuming they're both there.
So I am glad they're going to be fixing it, because there is a scheme that I would get, which is the 617s one, the special tail. Apart from that, I do like the Mosquito.
Deco looks excellent, to be fair.
Yeah, I do like the Mosquito. That is a. I mean, I'm just looking at it on the iPad. That is a good looking model, and if that's the pre-pro, which I'm guessing it is, then yeah. The Jag I like the story behind the Jag. In regards to anything else, I'm as brutally honest as they come. It doesn't blow me away at all.
No, I think six. I think Mitch hit the nail on the head. We said 6 out of 10. It's not shit,
No,
but it's not amazing. It's sort of. It's my expectation line was here, and it's probably coming about here. I think if you take the Tornado away, it'd probably go up a little bit, but you still wouldn't hit the expectation that I'd like.
I don't understand it. So I've not seen in person the model of the ME. How big is a 410?
That's the size of a Mosquito.
So how can that be £20 more? Or am I being stupid?
I think it's £20 more because it's a newer tooling and they need to get some money back on it pretty quick. If I have to be really honest with you, I think that the profit margin is probably heavier. And I think with also the fact that they had a sellout the first time around and people scrapping trying to get one. I think Chris from Heavy Metal Diecast will be a perfect example of that on the other side of the world. I think he tried 3 times to get one and finally got it on the third attempt.
Yeah.
I think they've seen that and gone, and that is supply and demand. I think that's just pure basic retail. Remember, they're owned by Fraser Group now, which is Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
So they'll be looking at ways to earn quick money. And I think that's an easy bit of money to make. I think realistically you'll get it for like 85 quid if you're looking around, maybe 79.99 if you're lucky, from like a Jumblies or somewhere like that. But the first release was outstanding, and it was 18 months in the wait in. People were excited by it. I don't know how many more after the second or third one where people will be excited by it as well. So they're sort of making, running out all the cliches now, making hay while the sun shines and all that.
Yeah.
But I can't say it's. I mean, maybe it's just we're just so accepting of how overpriced diecast is now. But I think
It's
people will
weird
pay
because
it.
obviously I'm a big we're obviously talking about Corgi tonight, so apologies, but the majority of my collection is Hobby Master,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't compare because they are different entities, they're different companies and stuff, and they are different size models, I suppose. But you get a Hobby Master Tomcat, they're no more than 75 quid,
And
and I know they're
that's a big detailed
it's a
aircraft as well.
massively detailed bit of diecast, and all of that is diecast. From what I remember, the Canberra at 170, which I know, I'm sorry, I've said it again, because it's just blowing my mind that that's 170 quid. Are the wings not plastic on that?
No, they're not. I've got some up there, but there's no way I'm getting them down there in the right model with my dad's shelf.
Yeah,
No, they're pretty much metal. They are pretty much metal.
are they?
Yeah,
Mm,
You got to think it's an old mold, isn't it? And
yeah.
the
Oh,
older mold used more metal, didn't they?
they did. It
yeah.
went to the Vulcan, so they realised they can get away with putting quite a bit of plastic in, and then claim
Yeah.
it's to do with the weight. But the thing is, as well, the other thing I look at here, and maybe it's a different, more cutthroat Corgi and a different approach. This is the first full catalogue by Fraser's Group, I think. Well, mind you, no, they're saying that they had the Fraser Plus last year, didn't they? So maybe it's the second full catalogue, but all of this would be relatively new to them. It feels like they're looking at the commercials more rather than just producing them and actually being a little bit cutthroat, going, well, look, these Muppets will buy 1,000 of these. Let's go and knock them out. And that's with like the Tornado as well, because that's a really brave move, right? Really, really, really brave move to release a model that has been absolutely hammered across the board. Yes, it's sold, but it hasn't sold out because it's still on the Corgi website. It's got absolutely slated when people realise the mistake they made, and then to knock it out exactly the same. It's a brave move. It's a really, dare I say,
Bordering
am
stupid.
I a bit stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
I
completely.
do think that. I mean, that's the one that tarnishes the whole catalogue for me. It does feel like a little bit like up yours, collectors. We'll knock this out and then we'll fix it
At
because you know
190
what?
quid it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 200 notes nearly. You know, that angers me a little bit. It does feel like a massive up yours, and that, they must have their reasons for it. But if we're hearing that the people in Corgi were not happy about that, then fair play to them because that's the right thing to say. Because I think if you're siding with your collectors and saying that we're putting a model out here we're not entirely happy with, and we really apologise for that. It's just the only way people can act
The
on that
thing
is to
is,
vote with
though,
their feet, isn't it?
yeah, the thing is, though, there's been very little comms on it as well, isn't there? Really, it's all been, I spoke to ex Corgi employee at Reat about the problems, and obviously it's been slated online, but there's been no real comment from Corgi to say, look,
There
we
was
recognise there's
something on
problems here.
Diecast Diaries, wasn't there? It didn't
Was
say
there?
we know there's a problem, but we did say we're going to do some modifications to it.
Right.
Which they're not going to go. Look, remember, you're trying to sell something that's defective, isn't right. You're not going to go out there and tell everyone it's defective and not right, and then
Yeah.
charge the
Yeah.
same
Very
amount of money,
true.
right? So you're going to use that political sway to try and get people to buy it inadvertently, which is then going to fund the repair of it, right? Okay, so it's sort of. I get why they're doing it. I just don't feel comfortable why they're doing it. And certainly, I'm not. And like you said, Mitch, like if it drops to 50 quid and you've got 80 quid's worth of hobby points and it looks pretty and it looks okay, then fair enough. If you want,
Yeah.
no one's going to come into your house and look at your model collection and go, "That Tornado shit, isn't it?"
Yeah. That's
You know what
that's
I mean?
the only thing that stood out to me was
Well, I
it's
think a couple of
it,
people might. I know.
yeah, but it's different from the other 148s that they've done, isn't it? So there's been a lot of grey camo silver
Yeah,
variants, but there's no white, grey and white schemes really. So yeah, that's the only thing that sort of stands out for it. Then, like you say, it's a shame that it's been used. The scheme's been used on a wrong mould.
yeah, because it is a really pretty scheme. But then on the
Yeah,
flip side, you just stick out a grey jet and it's a bit bland as. it's not going to catch people's eyes either. It's catch-22, right? So, but you're right in what you said. Like I'm sure you look at your models, go, actually, it looks all right in there. But then when you go and you really zoom in on it and you look at it and you stand there and go, oh, it's slightly off in the proportion on the body's too fat, all the
Yeah.
a bit like. Then you can really look at it and go, but it doesn't mean that you then walk out of the room the next day, come in and you go straight to it and think, oh, shit. Because you still like it. It still you're right. It still looks like a tornado. It's just a bit off.
Yeah.
Quite a bit off. If you've worked on the aircraft, I guess it probably notice it more. If you flew the aircraft, you notice it more.
Yeah.
If you're a tornado specialist, you notice it more. But look, again, we're talking about people who are going to walk by at Riyadh, see this stacked up, and go, "Oh, I really like that. Look at the scheme on that. I'll buy it." They're not going to be having a what you call that. Oh, Matt's on for Not Another Train. If you want to come on, buddy, you're more than welcome to join. Hit the plus button at the bottom there, mate. But look, we're only time will tell, right? So we'll find out when it comes out how it sells, what the pre-sales are like. I think if it's stinking it up, I think you'll see it pushed on social media quite a bit, like the Thunderbirds was pushed. I got the impression, I might be wrong, maybe they're selling really well when they were trying to really push it. I got the impression that the Thunderbird stuff didn't really sell last time round, so they were giving it out to all these bloody influencers, pushing every other advert was for Thunderbirds on the Corgi website. So I would suggest if it isn't doing well, you'll see it advertised quite a lot.
Yeah, you never know. We could do a TikTok video and get a free one.
Don't get me started on that. I'm over it. I'm over it, mate. Look, I like to see this page in a lot of times. We're like the go balls of Corgi. We push all the positivity. I'm sure they don't want to attach themselves to us now by me comparing myself to Hitler's propaganda minister. But no, look, this page does a lot of positivity. I like to think we try and be as positive as we can for the hobby, but I also think it's right that we call stuff out that isn't good as well. But on the flip side, they do something right, we should be shouting from the hilltops about it as well, because that's how we should be. Everything's about balance, right? Yin and yang and all that, acid alkaline. But good evening, Matt. That beard's got a bit chunky, mate.
Yes. Well, winter is coming and all that.
Am I allowed to say you're not going to be hiding in the hills of Afghanistan anytime soon, are you?
No. We're okay.
Thank God for that. Just checking. Good to see you, mate. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone as well. You all good?
Yeah, good. Look, we've just been ranting and raving. We've all had our sort of opinion. The floor is yours, buddy.
Oh, well, I'll keep it short and sweet. I think overall, there's some real positives in there. As you mentioned, I think the tornado, to me...
I'm just laughing at Michael Lowe's comment down there. I'll read this out. Sorry, Matt, to interrupt you. You're dressed in black and have a Hitler Youth haircut and one bollock. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it. Cheeky bastard. Carry on, Matt. Sorry.
There's always that one friend. But no, I think tornado, to me, I'm very much in the camp of it kind of looks like a tornado. And if that's your bag, like to me, if they mucked up a Lancaster, you'd be thinking, I know every little detail on those, but to me, the tornado is something that I'm not an expert on, so I defer to your expert opinion. Something that I really quite like from the catalogue launch is the Taranto swordfish.
Yes, love that. The early roundels underneath as well, red, white, and blue. Really popular. What
sort of it was quite timely because James Holland and Al Murray have been doing a series of podcasts. I think it's We Have Ways, and they've just done a series on the Taranto raid. Sort of following it through from inception to actual action. So it's a really timely one from Corgi because it's an incredible raid. These guys were flying.
With exception to the Bismarck, it's probably the swordfish's finest hour.
Yeah, I think so. And the Bismarck was almost more luck than judgment that they managed to get one to hit the propeller shafts. But this Taranto raid was incredible when you listen to it. The fact that the Italians were actually, the Italians were actually had woken up. They were aware that they were coming. They were on alert. but what they didn't realise is it'd be this really slow flying string bags that would come in at deck level. So I thought that was a really nice release. I'd love to see the Mozzie. That would be really exciting to see that. And then I think the one for me, I like the 410, to be honest. I think it fits in with it's like a Bomber Command theme, an Intruder theme. So for me, I think that's one I'll definitely get. I like as I say, yeah, the Mozzie, the 410, and the Swordfish. The one I've got on pre-order at the moment from the last catalogue is the Bowfighter, the Ancient
stunning.
Mariner.
Yeah, stunning.
So
I
I'm
love the half
looking
fuselage D-Day stripes on that. It really makes it pop, and it's a beautiful, beautiful looking scheme.
So looking forward to seeing that. And as I say, I think the only anticlimax is them saying, yeah, we're going to do a Hudson and we're going to do all these Mark V Spitfires, and then there's just nothing. I think if they
wait till Friday, Matt. I think it'll be on Diecast Diaries. I think the information will be in there. I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I would hope there'd be something on there, maybe a CAD drawing or something like that. That's what they did with the what do you call it? I think they did it with the Marauder, didn't they, when they released it, and they put the CAD drawings on with the different types of wings and tail and stuff like that. So we shall see. I think. I mean, it depends how far into the stage it is. Remember, they might have only got sign off in this in like November, December time. So we might not see it till later in the year, but it caught us all by surprise. There's 3 new toolings completely. Obviously, the third one's yet to be defined as such. But look, I didn't expect the Hudson though.
No, I think that kind of follows suits with we probably wouldn't have expected a Beaufort and they knocked that part out of the park with the Hobbymaster Beaufighter existing. We probably never thought they'd do a Beaufighter, in terms of duplication, and that's worked really well. The Hudson probably I would like to think it'd follow in the footsteps of things like the Blenheim being successful, the Beaufort. They seem to do twin-engined aircraft really well.
They do, and it's not of heavy, which means it stays within that. I mean, I don't know how much it's going to cost. It's probably going to cost the same amount as a Beaufighter, whatever that it costs now, which is probably like 94, 99, I'd imagine. Probably wrong with the way inflation's gone, but I don't think it's one of them ones that's still within reasonable cost, I guess.
It's got the scheme legs as well. I think it served in most theatres and
Coastal Command as well. I think they used them, didn't they, the Hudson?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it shot down the first.
Yeah, that was we said that earlier in the video. I think that's.
Okay, I missed that bit. Sorry,
I would imagine that's the first scheme that's going to be released. Again, they haven't said anything, but it seems a bit of a coincidence that he mentioned that. The RAF Museum one as well, I mentioned earlier, it's got an amazing kangaroo motif on the front of it, which is incredible. I hope that gets done at some point as well.
But yeah, I can only echo looking at some of the prices. You kind of think, oof. I remember, it's years ago now, but like thinking, I'm not going to, I'll stop when a Lancaster gets more than £100 or something, something silly, but I had one eye on the Hornby release catalogue, and if you think the planes are high, Dan, you might have a shock if you want to get a all singing, all dancing Hornby train. I think they're doing a new tool Merchant Navy class, and that's like £400. It's got a steam generator.
Wow.
But
I'm all right for that.
Yeah, Bill, right, yeah.
I can fully appreciate a model train. I like brilliant, no problem. I can fully appreciate any collecting. If you want to collect tins of Monster energy drink, I don't give a shit. I can appreciate it. For £400, absolutely not.
No, it is, but it's I think even one of their railroad ones, which are supposed to be cheaper, are getting up past £100 now, which is your introductory ones, well past. But no, anyway, I digress slightly. I think overall, I think I think certain I like the 410. As I say, the Moz is great. The Dornier doesn't really fall in my collecting scheme, nor does sort of sharp, fast, pointy things with that push heat out the back. But I think the ones that they have put in here and the future of the catalogue, I think it looks quite good to me.
Yeah, but it's
So
just
yeah,
a
so
positive
that's
for
my
all that it's doing well. You know, Corgi's doing well as a brand. And look, this whole sort of catalogue thing, what it said to me is as much as we've got, no, I call them the old school rivet counters, the ones who really, really take it quite seriously. It generated some excitement for the first time. And now I'm always relatively excited for catalogues, to be honest with you, but we've always
Yeah.
done them and just gone, is that it? Like, oh, they're nice releases, but it's like, but now they're getting to a stage where they're producing a decent amount. So they're on for, if they carry on at this rate, 24 plus a year, which is, I can't remember how many they did last year. Obviously, had that massive announcement at Riyadh with like 4 different aircraft plus all the T9s turning up. I think they're in a good position to keep pumping out close to 30 a year, which keeps us all interested. But I mean, look, there was a guy the other day on the page who said about prices. You know, prices, whether it be food, whether it be houses, only go one way. They really do. You can have inflation, you can have deflation, you can have, financial crisis, but they only ever seem to go one way. There's no way these prices are ever going to go down because, the Chinese now are paying their people real money. They're not sticking them in there and giving them a bag of rice a day for their services. No, they're paying proper living wages now, and it's natural. The cost of metal's gone up. It's a different world, and we just there would be a
Scary,
point.
isn't it?
I'm sure there'll be a point where our wages growth will outstrip the prices of stuff, and it will start waning. We're not quite there yet, but it is getting close.
Morning.
Sorry, I've just ruined it all for you. West Ham season ticket cheaper next year. Yes, Jason, and I get more games next year. So winner, chicken dinner. Well, it better be cheaper next year. But then saying that, gents, on a serious note, it's completely unrelated. How much do you think I paid for a season ticket to West Ham? All right, we're 18th in the Premier League and we're going down. But how much do you think I've paid for a season ticket? So it's 19 games.
2.5 grand.
No.
I would. 700 quid.
No. Matt.
no,
nowhere near.
are we above or
if that's more than what Mitch said, mate, you're a fucking maniac.
Lower.
500?
Lower.
£380 for a band 5. Bear in mind, there's band 6 in West Ham as well. Granted, I'm in row 64, which is for a fat bloke like me trying to get up.
I still think you've overpaid.
But no, on a serious note, so 380 quid, right? I'm now paying nearly 100 quid for a model each time. So, all right, I know I'm watching West Ham. They should be paying me at 380 quid to go. To be honest with you, I mean, if you ever try getting out of the London Stadium, you understand my frustration. The stop-go mans, honestly, they stand there with lollipops. Look, Jason's just
if you put your
Switch and he pays 462 quid.
That's not bad.
If you put your 3 models on the shelf, that might be more interesting to watch them just sat there.
Yeah, to be fair, honestly, I start gouging my eyes out now. I mean, the other day we actually won a game of football on Sunday. I don't know if you see it. Granted, it took us 120 minutes, but at 90 minutes, I said to my brother, I was like, I can't be arsed with this. So we got out before the crowds and we got onto the train platform. Second I got onto the train platform, my phone flashed and we'd scored. I'm like, I've waited like 10 games for us to see us win a game, and I'm standing. But I was so glad. I was freezing cold, and it's worth it. So yeah, I hate football. By the way, just
I tell you what will be interesting. And going back to Diecast, sorry. For the last little while, I think me and Gary talk about it quite often. The second-hand market has been on its arse, properly on its arse. I don't know what your thoughts in regards to. Do you think it will now push prices back up?
I don't think it will. I think because you got to remember now.
Or will it push prices? Will people be put off by this? Like, not die-hard collectors, but with the majority be put off by 170 pound Canberra. Realistically, Mark, you're on the Code 3 hype now.
Yep.
But I mean, you're. I'm just looking at the Canberra. It's got black and yellow stripes, and the whole thing's silver.
Yeah, I can
Within a
make that.
week,
I can
you
make
could
that.
pick up a 30 quid Canberra, one of the
Yep.
old Legends series ones. You could do that.
Oh, I could though. I'm at the stage where I'm happy with where I am. I haven't done one in a few months, but
No, but
I think with the
you could make that, and it's just.
I'll
I
get
don't
10
know.
of them and sell them, 170 quid each.
yeah, I think with the second man market, it depends what model it is as well. Because I watched a few models that were up or end of auction on Sunday on eBay, and I managed to pick up a Typhoon that I've been after for ages. But I was watching a
Did you have
one.
any?
Second.
No, I'm after typhoons.
All right. Yeah, I was watching a Messerschmitt that was going to end on Sunday, but it was the D-Day one from a couple of years ago. It was the
Oh, the one that
75th
landed at
anniversary.
Manston? Is that the one that
Yeah,
landed at Manston?
Yeah.
the one that landed at Manston, and that went for £103 on
Wow.
eBay.
It's just mad. I'm looking at I've got a big collection there which I need to sell. So I managed to pick up a couple of Spirit of Ken Gemini Aces, mint, unboxed. So a few years ago they were going for like 200 quid. Do you remember there was quite a heated discussion on the page around like who would pay 200 quid for a Spirit of Ken? I wish I would now because I've got two of them sitting on the shelf. £60 they've been on and they're continuing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yet that was a really highly sought after, the most highest sought after Spitfire out there. I can't shift them at 50 quid. I've had people offering me £30 on there, and I've had to be very polite to say, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I generally just ignore them and let it stretch out for 24 hours till it expires rather than respond to them because I don't want to give them any hope. But that, but you've also got to remember, you think during COVID, obviously production slowed down and there was a much smaller pool of aircraft. You've got to remember, if every month Hobby Master knock out 16 now. I might only do 250 runs or 500 runs on them, but the actual market is flooded with more aircraft. So consequently, there's much more choice for people to bid on. But you're right, like there's stuff out there that it's not going cheap, but it's not going above its limits where it was at one point. You'd get three bidders after something. I mean, I picked up the Desert Mitchell. I need to do a video review on it soon. The Nose Art collection one is stunning, absolutely stunning. It's got the shit weathering on it, but it's still really nice, like a scheme. I paid 75 quid for that. Whenever I've seen it before, it's going for 120, 130, 140 quid.
Yeah.
I've got it for 75. And I'm not moaning about that because I'm buying it. But now if I wanted to sell it now, I'd probably only get 75 quid for it as well. So it swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird as well because then I saw a grey, the first 148th Lightning that came out, the grey one.
Yeah.
And there was one for sale on eBay the other day for 82 quid. And I think that's a heck of a lot of diecast there for 82 quid.
Yeah,
it is when you consider the one with the wing over tanks is still on Corgi for 190.
Yeah.
That looks amazing, by the way.
It's a fantastic model.
You talk about Corgi getting things right. I mean, I've always said I went into 148, didn't I? And I ended up buying the RF Tengar Lightning off of Amazon. I think I paid I think my ex-wife paid about 75 quid for that, the RF Tengar one. And it is a stunning bit of kit. I think you had yours in your table, didn't you, at one point, Dan?
Yes.
Inside the glass bit, yeah. And they're amazing bits of kits, but they're that's not just model. You're crossing in different territories. It's almost crossing into like this sort of Art Nouveau sort of thing, or Art Deco. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a model; it's an ornament, right?
Yeah.
Talking
about Corgi getting it right as well. So I've got the 148th Overwing Tank Lightning just in front of me here, and the improvements that they've made for the fitment of the tanks compared to like the Phantoms, for example, is a night and day difference. Yeah, the pins are a lot more sturdy. They fit nicely. The tanks are sided as well, so you can't fit them on the wrong side as well. All of my Phantoms, I've had to sort of whittle down the pin slightly to make them fit properly into the bottom of the fuselage. And credit to Corgi for that model, because they've made a lot of improvements to that. Yeah, for the fitment of the tanks and the ordnance, etc. Yeah,
That's
done
good.
really well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a good looking model, to be fair.
that is an
I
improvement.
think the second-hand market can vary. It really does vary from model to model. I mean, the ones that always seem to sell are the World War One not Luftwaffe, the Luftstrike or whatever it's called, the World War One German aircraft. They always seem to fetch a high premium.
Yeah, I do.
Um,
Amazing
some of
schemes
the
though. Some of them are stunning, aren't they? Like, they
oh,
really are.
they're they're brilliant. I mean, I think one of the other ones that did well that I managed to fortunately pick up for recently was the Crookshank Catalina. That seemed to sell really well.
Quality
You
release.
can't find
Absolute
that for
quality.
love the money very often. Certainly
Mm.
not under 100. That seemed to do really well. And then the odd thing will pop up, like that D-Day. So I did some more research on that. It's one that I actually was quite interested in because it was it was actually a wild boar fighter, and it landed at Manston by mistake, and the wild boar ones had fit in with the sort of opposition to bomber command thing. And I kind of missed that at the time. I thought, oh, it's just one that landed at Manston, but that seemed to have gone nuts.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
the FU-190s as well. There's a couple of those in the Luftwaffe schemes that have
I'll tell
gone,
you, it's a great one.
more
The
expensive as well.
BF-109G, the Marseille one. Was it a Marseille one? I
Are
think
you
it was,
on
wasn't it?
about? Are you on about
The
Gemini?
the,
Or was it
the
Corgi?
desert, no, the desert Corgi one. Wasn't
The
Marseille?
Black
Was it a
Six
G?
was a G, I think. Was it the Black Six one?
Oh, no, not the Black Six one. It was the most recent desert one.
Yeah, it's got the white stripes on the wing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's that's an incredible release, absolutely incredible release. But
Somebody just commented saying
I'm a
I'm on a Hercules. I'm
C-130.
on a Hercules right now. Can I join for a second?
Yeah, more
Yes,
than
you
happy for
can.
that.
I mean, one of us will have to drop off, but that would
I'll
be an
drop off, fellas.
interesting
Don't
chat,
worry.
wasn't it? Was it an F? No, it wasn't an F, Michael. We don't do an F. Corgi don't do an F. Don't do the
I'll
G.
see you in a bit, fellas.
Bye,
I've got to
mate.
go
No worries.
anyway.
Cheers,
Yeah,
Matt.
see you in a
See you
bit.
later,
Bye
dude.
bye. Cheers. Nice to see you all. Bye.
I'll add him in. This could be
This could be an
chaotic.
interesting one. Are we talk? Well, it's not going to be Raf, is it? This is going to be Yusuf. So,
Let's
well,
see. Oh, he's disappeared.
I know.
He's obviously lost signal. But look, I mean, look. To be fair, gents, I mean, we've gone over the hour. I thought we'd talk, but look, if anybody wants to join quickly, you're more than welcome to join. I don't know how. Yeah, let me try and see if we can add him in. Like I said, this could be chaotic. Hopefully, he's not in a compromising position. But only what's his name? Only Michael Lowe does compromising positions. So let's have a quick look, see if I can add him in. Bear with. I've pressed invite. So again,
Let's
this
see
could
what.
be chaotic, but I'm all for chaotic, to be fair. So
I don't mind chaotic.
no, but I've tried to see if we can add him in. But it'll be an interesting chat. That would
What
be.
a model that would be! A
Yeah,
172 Hercules.
I think.
Cheeky twat.
Good old Mike. He's unable to join. But I think overall, I mean, I'll start sort of rounding off the call. Like I said, before we do, if there's anybody else who's on the chat now who wants to come on just for a quick fire, couple of minutes to just give their opinions, you're more than welcome to. You just need to press the plus and the camera at the bottom of the screen. But I think the overall theme, I think Mitch summed it up perfectly. It's a 6 out of 10. It's not crap and it's not blown us away.
Mm.
I think the tornado probably tarnishes it a little bit because I think collectors feel a little bit upset about that because they really want a great looking 148 tornado, and so far it's 90% of the way there, but it's not there, and to release another one feels slightly insulting, and a bit more money over quality, if I have to be honest. But look, they might have their reasons. I mean, it's for me, it's encouraging to hear that some other collectors have spoke about it to people involved in Corgi, and they're as disappointed as us, and that's great to hear, as far as I'm concerned, because if they weren't disappointed, then there'd be an issue. I think there's some strong releases in there. There's stuff I think that will struggle to sell. I think the Meteor's got a lovely scheme. I just don't know whether there's the market for a Meteor. I mean, depending on how many they go. I think the Canberra is, again, you talk about ridiculous pricing, what is going on now. The Mosquito, I think, will shift. I think so. Look at me consulting. I think the ME410 will shift. I think the Jaguar is one of them ones that might not go. The Swordfish for me is probably my favourite of the group. And I mean, you're an all black swordfish with real history behind it. It's fantastic. I think the Dornier's absolutely incredible as well, and probably the best value release of the 8. And the Tornado, well, I've done it to death, to be honest with you. I think 6 out of 10 is a fair reflection, but it's good to hear that they're in a good position, producing 3 new toolings plus another adapted tooling at some point by the end of the year as well. And I think even Mike might get his World War One stuff come the September to December one. I think that's probably where they're parking the World War One stuff now. I don't know if you guys feel that, but it feels like almost they tie it in with Remembrance Day so they can add the poppies to the box, and it makes more sense because it's current and it's there. But yeah, look, I mean, guys, I don't know if you want to quickly. I mean, just go to do a bit of a summary. Dan, do you want to do a quick summary of your thoughts?
I do. I get why you've gone for a 6 out of 10. You guys have got a lot more interest in the ranges that they've done over me. The highlight for me is probably the Mosquito. I would be tempted whether I'd pick one up for myself. I don't know. My old man is all of a sudden starting to sort of like get a bit of a diecast collection going
He's
on.
seen the light, Dan. He's seen the light.
He's got this corner Argos cabinet. He's been given a corner in a room upstairs, bless him.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, and he's got a few of my misfits up there. So whether that could be a cheeky little Christmas present, he won't be watching. He won't give a shit anyway. An option because his favourite aircraft is the Mosquito. Yeah, I there's nothing there for me, but I can fully appreciate that there will be for a lot of people. It's just the pricing on certain stuff that's blown me away, and the choice. I'm not going to go down there again, but the choice to use the Tornado, like you said, Mark, seems a little bit insulting. It's a bit like, well, we've made it, we've got them there, we've got that current mold. We're going to make it anyway. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's entirely up to you guys whether you buy it or not. Yeah, I'd much rather them turn around and not use it at all until it's fixed.
Yeah,
but I'm not certainly not a Corgi businessman. Do you know what I mean?
no,
It's that I'm not. I don't know their ins and outs and the way they're running their ship. But yeah, it's not. It's not the worst. It's not the best.
no, completely agree. So Mitch, you've got the final bit. So
Yeah.
end of video summary.
Yeah, I suppose I'd just say 6 out of 10 with more to come really. I suppose like I said a minute ago about the Mosquito is probably the standout model for me. I'd be interested to see how it looks further down the line once they've done a bit more development on it as well. The underside looked a little bit shiny to me in the video, so we'll see how that sort of develops further down the line. But there's plenty of options that they can do with that as well. And then shame, for the release video, they didn't have anything for the Mark V Spitfire, because I think my sort of opinion on the catalogue probably would have been altered if he had something to show for that as well. But yeah, that's a brilliant addition to the lineup, and like we said before, it's a license to print money, isn't it? And then I suppose I'm keen to see the Bowfighter once it's released as well. From the previous catalogue, but I think that will look fantastic in the
and the P47 as well. I think the P47 looks lovely as well, which
so
on my radar.
There's a few to come still, isn't there, from the previous catalogue?
Yeah.
But my thoughts haven't changed. It's very sort of night fighter heavy. So if you're into that, that's great. But sort of 6 out of 10 for me.
Lovely. Right, I'm going to wrap up the call now. Look, I just want to say a massive thanks to obviously my wingman Dan, Dwayne, Mitch, Matt, and Sam. for all coming on, braving the chaos that is the DWC Corgi catalogue review. Look, really enjoyed it. I think we need to do something like this again, and maybe every time we do it, because it's not just about what I think or Dan thinks. It's lovely to hear it from the horse's mouth. But you guys are the collectors, all very different collectors as well. You know, people who specialise in certain areas, people who are casual collectors, people who are really serious collectors. You know, if I think of someone like Christian, who I'm sure would have loved to have been on this call. He probably would have gone absolutely ballistic as well, which would have been, I'd be like, calm down, angry Australians late in the evening. But no, like someone like Christian, one of the most knowledgeable people I know around the whole hobby, really, really positive and infectious to try and get things right. But he's really critical when it isn't, and that's the way he should be. But look, thanks to everybody else, everybody who's watched tonight, including yourself, Chris, from Heavy Metal Diecast Reviews, Jason, who's always on here, Carl, who's been on here, Kieran, who come on here. Everybody who's contributed in some shape or form, James Foster, who's obviously played a massive part tonight as well, with some of the comments down there as well. Lovely to see you all come on and chat about this and join in and give your opinions. Look, no, I want to try and do more with this year. I've already spoken to Dan in terms of like what I want to try and be, reinvigorate the page and do more on YouTube and and share and the likes of Heavy Metal Diecast Reviews. Push people that way as well, because we're all in it together. The more we're in this hobby, we'll keep this hobby alive.
Also, I probably want to say as well, and without hijacking, because obviously this is a Corgi catalogue review, I'd quite like to. I know, Mark, you don't necessarily sort of like delve towards Hobby Master. You've got a few. I'd maybe, because that was more of a monthly thing, start doing Hobby Master catalogue reviews.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Look, I'm happy to facilitate it. That's I guess the one thing I'm really, really good at. I might not know an awful lot about jets, but I'm happy to facilitate it and listen. And for me, it's all a learning experience. Like
100%.
If I put Michael, who I didn't even call out there, our aeronauts guy, and of course give Mike a follow. Mike has taught me so much about World War One.
Yeah.
And dogging,
I
dogging as well. He's taught me a lot about dogging, which was slightly worrying. But
there weren't a lot.
On a serious note, yes.
There weren't a lot for you to learn about dogging either, was there? To be fair,
true. Once I got going, you couldn't stop me.
There is a lot I want to learn about certain releases through Hobby Master and stuff like that. So I'd quite like to delve and get other people, get a lot of other people involved in that side of things. So we are looking at expanding. We've spoke about it and seeing how far we can push it.
Look, you guys tell us what you want, and we're trying to accommodate it. So it isn't always about Corgi. I'm happy to do it. I mean, realistically, Corgi and Hobby Master are the ones who do their main, obviously, chunks of releases. But there's nothing to say we can't do a review of the first 6 months of the year, or we can do a 2025 review, or something like that. There's like I said, there's loads of really, really good people out there who, like I said, the casual collectors, the heavy collectors. And I know Rene wants to do his bit as well and come on. Obviously, the Dutch diecast collector, he couldn't come on tonight. He's had to go and run his club because somebody is rung in ill. So he's had to go out and do that. But I'm more than happy to do that. And like I said, it's great to. I nicknamed this Talk Dork after a bit like Talk Sport, where it's almost like a call-in where people come in and talk and rant and sometimes praise about what's going on. And I love that because I love talking about this hobby. And I've not given myself enough time to do this. And when you do it, I realise how much I really enjoy it as well. So, I'm more than happy to do that. And it's great. And again, Mitch, you've done it twice in a week now, mate. You're almost like a permanent fixture on here, buddy. So,
to be honest, it's nice to get, speak to people that have similar interests in yourselves as well. So, it's quite a niche thing to do, isn't it? To collect expensive lumps of a die cast that just sit on a shelf and don't really do anything.
Replica die cast models.
Mitch, where are you based?
So I'm in a Bourne, Lincolnshire.
Okay.
And then work locally at a local RAF base.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's me.
Sweet, man.
Look, cheers, boys. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, everybody who's watched tonight, who's joined in, thank you so much. I know Chris, obviously, over in Australia early in the morning. We will get you on this at some point, mate. I don't know if you're going to have to take some horse tranquilizers or something to calm yourself down before you go on camera, but I believe you can do it. And it's great to talk to people from all over the world who enjoy the same hobby. It's universal, right? So, look, long may it continue. Thank you so much, boys, for sacrificing your time tonight. It's always an absolute pleasure chatting to you and really enjoyed the chat tonight. All have a good night's kip. I'll share this now on YouTube and Instagram for people who didn't watch it. And I'll run a few polls over the page on Facebook over the coming days to see what you guys, think of the actual Corgi catalogue release as well. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your working week. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, cheers,
Hello,
boys.
guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.